गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुर्साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। अगजाननपद्मार्कं गजाननमहर्निशम् अनेकदं तं भक्तानाम् एकदन्तमुपास्महे। नमस्ते शारदे देवी काश्मीरपुरवासिनी त्वामहं प्रार्थये नित्यं विद्यां बुद्धिं च देहि मे। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीमष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे फुल्लारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयप्रदीपः। प्रपन्नपारिजाताय स्तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। पाराशर्यवचः सरोजममलं गीतार्थगन्धोत्कटं नानाख्यानककेसरं हरिकथासम्बोधनाबोधितं लोके सज्जनषट्पदैरहरः पेपीयमानं मुदा भूयात् भारतपङ्कजं कलिमलप्रध्वंसि न श्रेयसे। गीताशास्त्रमिदं पुण्यं यः पठेत् प्रयतः पुमान् विष्णोः पदमवाप्नोति भयशोकविवर्जितः। गीताध्ययनशीलस्य प्राणायामपरस्य च नैव सन्ति हि पापानि पूर्वजन्मकृतानि च। मलनिर्मोचनं पुंसां जलस्नानं दिने दिने सकृद्गीताम्भसि स्नानं संसारमलनाशनम्। गीतासु गीता कर्तव्या किमन्यैः शास्त्रविस्तरैः या स्वयं पद्मनाभस्य मुखपद्माद्विनिसृता। भारतामृतसर्वस्वं विष्णोर्वक्त्राद्विनिसृतं गीता गङ्गोदकं पीत्वा पुनर्जन्म न विद्यते। सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्सः सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत्। एकं शास्त्रं देवकीपुत्रगीतमेको देवो देवकीपुत्र एव एको मन्त्रस्तस्य नामानि यानि कर्माप्येकं तस्य देवस्य सेवा। गीतायाः पुस्तकं यत्र यत्र पाठः प्रवर्तते तत्र सर्वाणि तीर्थानि प्रयागादीनि तत्र वै। यत्र गीताविचारश्च पठनं पाठनं श्रुतं तत्र अहं निश्चितं पृथ्वीं निवसामि सदैव हि। चिदानन्देन कृष्णेन प्रोक्ता स्वमुखतोऽर्जुन वेदत्रयी परानन्दा तत्त्वार्थज्ञानसंयुता। अष्टादश जपेन्नित्यं नरो निश्चलमानसः ज्ञानसिद्धिं स लभते ततो याति परं पदम्। गीतार्थं ध्यायते नित्यं कृत्वा कर्माणि भूरिशः जीवन्मुक्तः स विज्ञेयो देहान्ते परमं पदम्। ॐ भगवते वासुदेवाय नमः। जनार्दनं जगन्नाथं जगज्जाड्यविनाशकं जामदग्न्यं परञ्ज्योतिः तं वन्दे जलजायिनम्। ॐ भगवते वासुदेवाय नमः। चतुर्भुजं चिदानन्दं मल्लचानूरमर्दनं चराचरगतं देवं तं वन्दे चक्रपाणिनम्। ॐ भगवते वासुदेवाय नमः। श्रियःकरं श्रियोनाथं श्रीधरं श्रीवरप्रदं श्रीवत्सलधरं सौम्यं तं वन्दे श्रीसुरेश्वरम्। ॐ भगवते वासुदेवाय नमः। योगीश्वरं यज्ञपतिं यशोदानन्ददायकं यमुनाजलकल्लोलं तं वन्दे यदुनायकम्। ॐ भगवते वासुदेवाय नमः। हरिनामकृता माला पवित्रा पापनाशिनी बलिराजेन्द्रेण चोक्ता कण्ठे धार्या प्रयत्नतः। यदक्षरपदभ्रष्टं मात्राहीनं च यद्भवेत् तत्सर्वं क्षम्यतां देवनारायण नमोऽस्तु ते। कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यद्यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि। अस्तु, सो अद्य 14 श्लोकं पठनीयं खलु? रविशंकर महोदय पठितुम् इच्छति वा?
पठामि महोदय। श्रूयते किल?
आम्, श्रूयते। किञ्चित् उच्चैः पठतु।
न कर्तृत्वं न कर्माणि लोकस्य सृजति प्रभुः न कर्मफलसंयोगं स्वभावस्तु प्रवर्तते। पदार्थं पठामि वा?
पदविभागं, पदपरिचयम्, अनन्तरं पदार्थः।
आम्। न कर्तृत्वं न कर्माणि लोकस्य सृजति प्रभुः न कर्मफलसंयोगं स्वभावः तु प्रवर्तते। न अव्ययं कर्तृत्वं कर्तृत्व अकारान्त नपुंसकलिङ्गः कर्मणि तु सृजति द्वितीया विभक्ति एकवचनं। न अव्ययं कर्माणि कर्म अकारान्त नपुंसकलिङ्गः कर्मणि तु सृजति द्वितीया विभक्ति बहुवचनं। लोकस्य लोक अकारान्त पुल्लिङ्गः अकारान्त पुल्लिङ्गं षष्ठी विभक्ति एकवचनं। संबंधं संबंधे टु कर्तृत्व सृजति सृज धातु लट् लकारः कर्तरि प्रथमपुरुष एकवचनं। प्रभुः प्रभु उकारान्त पुल्लिङ्गः प्रथमा विभक्ति एकवचन कर्तरि तु सृजति। न अव्ययं कर्मफलसंयोगं कर्मफलसंयोग अकारान्त पुल्लिङ्गः द्वितीया विभक्ति एकवचनं कर्मणि तु सृजति। स्वभावः स्वभाव अकारान्त पुल्लिङ्गः प्रथमा विभक्ति एकवचनं कर्तरि तु प्रवर्तते। तु अव्ययं प्रवर्तते प्र उपसर्गः वृत् धातु लट् लकारः कर्तरि प्रथमपुरुष एकवचनं।
अस्तु, पदार्थः।
प्रभु परमात्मा लोकस्य जनस्य कर्तृत्वं विधातृत्वं न सृजति न करोति। कर्माणि कर्तव्यानि न करोति। कर्मफलसंयोगं कर्मप्रयोजनयोः सम्बन्धं न कुरुते। स्वभावः तु अविद्या तु प्रवर्तते प्रचरति। अन्वयं पठामि वा महोदय?
पठतु महोदय।
प्रभुः लोकस्य कर्तृत्वं न सृजति, कर्माणि न, कर्मफलसंयोगं न, स्वभावः तु प्रवर्तते। तात्पर्यमपि
पठतु पठतु।
परमात्मा लोकस्य कर्तृत्वं न उत्पादयति, कर्माणि अपि न सृजति, कर्मफलसंयोगमपि न जनयति, अविद्यालक्षणा प्रकृतिः प्रवर्तते। माध्वमतं परमेश्वरः कर्मसु तज्जन्यफलेषु वा जीवानां स्वातन्त्र्यं न ददाति, किन्तु स्वयमेव स्वातन्त्र्येण प्रवर्तते। रामानुजीयं प्रभुः स्वाभाविकस्वरूपेण अवस्थितः आत्मा लोकः प्रकृतिसंसर्गेण वर्तमानः जनः।
प्रश्नः पठतु महोदय।
प्रभुः लोकस्य किं किं न सृजति? प्रभुः लोकस्य किं किं न सृजति?
लोकस्य कर्तृत्वं
न सृजति, कर्माणि च न सृजति, कर्मसंयोगमपि न सृजति,
कर्मफलसंयोगं।
कर्मफलसंयोगः। कः प्रवर्तते? स्वभावः प्रवर्तते। प्रभुः कः?
प्रभुः इत्युक्ते कः? परमात्मा।
आत्मा, परमात्मा एव प्रभुः। कस्य स्वभावः प्रवर्तते? कर्मफलसंयोगं, कर्मप्रयोजनयोः स्वभाव सम्बन्धमेव प्रवर्तते किल?
तस्य स्वभावः प्रवर्तते। लोकस्य खलु?
लोकस्य, किन्तु अविद्यालक्षणा प्रकृतिः प्रवर्तते। लोकस्य एव।
लोकस्य
प्रवर्तते।
व्याकरणं पठतु पठतु।
स्वभावस्तु, स्वभावः अधिकं तु विसर्गसन्धिः सकारः, समासः कर्मफलसंयोगः, कर्म च फलं च कर्मफले द्वन्द्वसमासः, कर्मफलयोः संयोगः षष्ठी तत्पुरुषसमासः, स्वभावः स्वस्य भावः षष्ठी तत्पुरुषः।
अस्तु, धन्यवादः महोदय।
धन्यवादः।
So in the previous shloka, what did we discuss? Sarva karmani manasa sanyasyaste sukham vashi navadvare pure dehi naiva kurvanna karayan. So what is that shloka saying? Yaha jitendriyah asti saha purushah kimapi karma akurvan akarayan cha navadvarayute शरीर रूपे नगरे सर्वाणि अपि कर्माणि मनसा परित्यज्य सुखेन तिष्ठति परमात्मन्येव तिष्ठति इत्यर्थ. So there it is being said that we should not have any kind of connection with the body or with the indriyas. So this shariram is like a puram. So that is the kind of thinking that we need to have. It is, I am in this body and this body is like a puram. So I have nothing to do. I am not the body. Many times that is the confusion we have. We think we are the body. So we keep saying my body, my this, it is happening to me. When we say my body, again, we are showing that differentiation that I am different and the body is different. Like how we say my book, my house. Like that, when we say my body, that is being told, but the feeling is, we feel that it is one and the same. We and the body are one and the same. That differentiation should be there. So if that differentiation is there, if we think we are not the body, then why are we in this body? Why are we staying in this body? Why are we doing things? Why cannot we leave this body? So how we have to look at it is, we have to think that Paramatma is in the body. Paramatma is everywhere in this Srishti, and Paramatma is there also in this body. So it is difficult for us to relate everything with Paramatma. Like everything that you see in this Srishti, thinking that Paramatma is in there can be a little difficult. So first we can start practicing by thinking that Paramatma is within us. So if we start with that, because we are looking at this body as a Puram, as a Nagaram, so like a Devalayam, if we think of it like a Devalayam, then it will become easy for us to think that the Paramatma is there. But that constant abhyasa is needed to even think that Paramatma is within us. For that, we need Yoga Nishta and Shuddha Manas. And then again, we are also saying that we are not the Karta of the things that we are doing. It is the body, the Sharira, that is doing these karmas. And what is this Sharira? It is made out of Shuddha Prakriti. So it is these Shuddha Prakriti, Trigunatmika Shuddha Prakriti is the one that is doing these karmas. That also we have to realize. So it is not the Atma or it is not the Paramatma, but it is this Sharira which is doing. So here also it is Trigunatmikam, and the karyas that we are doing and the Vastuni that are related with the karyas that we are doing are also Trigunatmika. They are also part of this Shuddha Prakriti. So in that way we have to look at things. When we keep looking at things like that, then it will be easy for us to differentiate between ourselves and the Prakriti. And once we make that differentiation, that attachment, working on the attachment will become easy. Disowning our Kartrutvam will become easy. Otherwise, we keep thinking that we are the ones who are doing. But once we disassociate ourselves from the Trigunatmika Prakriti, then it will become easy. Okay, I am not the one who is doing in that way. So why again here the Sharira is compared to Nagaram? Like say for example, we go to some friend's house, and the friend's house is arranged in a certain way. They have their own way of arranging their house. We may or may not like it. Even if we do not like it, we go there because we are invited. We sit there for a while, we accept what they give, and otherwise no, we sit for a while and come back. We don't think too much about how they arranged their house, right? It is none of our business. We don't get involved in all that. That is their taste. They have arranged it however they like, and that is as far as we think about it. We don't have anything to do. We don't think in a good way or a bad way. We don't get attached, nothing. Similarly, we also in this Sharira, we have to live in that way. So we should not worry too much about this body, too much about the appearance or such things or anything related to that matter. Too much of that possessiveness about the body should not be there. Then it will be easy for us to let go of the indriyas, or bringing the indriyas into control. In that way, we can make things happen easily. And again, coming to the Kartrutvam also, it will become easy for us to practice thinking that it is the Sharira that is doing and it is not me. It is the Sharira's duty to perform these, whatever things that it needs to be performed. So we do it with Shraddha, but we don't get attached. These are all the things that we discussed. And the Kartrutvam. So here, this shloka particularly says that the Prabhu, means the Paramatma, also is not the reason for these, for the Kartrutvam. Okay, so who is making this Indriyani and the Manas work? If I am not the one who is making my Indriyani and Manas work, then who? Many times we think that Paramatma is the one. We have so many Upanishad Vakyams and Smriti Vakyams that say that Paramatma is the one. We say no, Agnya lende Chimaina Kuttadu. Sivudi Agnya lende Chimaina Kuttadu, we say. We say that without Shiva's Agnya, even an ant won't bite us. That is a very common thing that we say. But so like this, there are some Upanishad Vakyams which say that it is Paramatma who makes people do certain things, either good or bad. But though the Upanishad Vakyams, some of them are like that, they are like that. But it is not true. Why it is not true? If it is not true, why that Upanishad Vakyam is like that? will be discussed later. Maybe we are not understanding it completely. Maybe the superficial meaning is indicating that. So that we have to look into it further. But as of now, what this shloka is saying is, so the Paramatma is not the one. Prabhu is not the one who is the Karta of all the things that are happening. So Kartrutvam Prabhu, Lokasya Kartrutvam, he is not the reason for that. Prabhu Lokasya Kartrutvam na srijati, Karmani na srijati, Karmaphala Sanyogamapi na srijati. So then who is it that is making Swabhavahatu Pravartate? So it is the Swabhava, that is, like I said, the Trigunatmika Prakriti that is making. Now say for example, it will be easy for us to relate if we look at an animal. In the forest, a tiger is there. Now, what will the tiger do? What is its swabhavam? When it is hungry, it will hunt. It will hunt, it will kill the prey, it will eat. But once it is full, it will happily sleep. Even when a deer is going right next to him, he will not touch it even when he is not hungry. Only when he is hungry, he will go and kill and eat until his hunger is satiated. And whatever is remaining, he will even leave it. He won't go save it for tomorrow, nothing like that. And when he's not hungry, he will not even bother to kill. That is the prakriti. That is the swabhava of that tiger. So why is he killing? When he is killing, does he have any anger on that deer or any grudge or anything? Nothing. He's hungry, he's going, eating, coming. So that is because of his swabhava, he is doing that killing. So because of his swabhava, he is doing that killing that he does will not touch him. Why? Because that is his swabhava. He's not doing out of any kind of emotion, with any kind of dvesham, raga dveshas. No, nothing. He's hungry, he's going eating. That's all. So similarly, we also are doing those actions because of our swabhava. And what is that swabhava exactly? It is built upon the karmas that we have done in the past. Sanchita karmas, we say. So why are some people getting this swabhava of doing such things, and why the swabhava of everybody is a little different? Overall, there are so many common things, but there is a difference in everybody's swabhava. Why is that? Why is there such kind of difference? It is because of the sanchita karmas that they have in the past. Because of that, they will get that swabhava of behaving in that sense. And who is the reason for that again? They themselves are the reason. Sanchita karmas, whatever we have done, right? So that we have to understand. That is difficult to understand. One way we are saying we are not the karta. The other way we are saying it is the karmas that you have done that is making you do this. So that kind of confusion will be there for a while. And why are somebody doing such things? Because of the, in the next shloka it will come, because of the ajnanam. Ajnanam will cover up your jnanam, will cover up your buddhi, and you will do certain things which you are not supposed to do if you have that Paramatma Tattva Jnanam. If you have that Paramatma Tattva Jnanam, you will not be doing certain things. But if that Jnanam is covered with Ajnanam, then you will again tend to behave like the with the, based on your Swabhava, because of your Sanchita Karmas, you will act like that and again accrue good or bad. So though we have Sanchita Karmas, using, by practicing this Paramatma Tattva Jnanam, by acquiring this Jnanam, we can overcome that swabhava of doing whatever we tend to do. That is when we have to use our Paramatma Tattva Jnanam and use our Vichakshana, use our Buddhi, and then decide, okay, this is not the right thing to do. We have to bring our Indriyas under control. We have to bring our Manas under control, because who is making these Indriyas and Manas work? Can they work on their own? The Indriyas and the Manas? We have studied in the previous shloka, right? In the previous few shlokas we studied. Can the Indriyas work all by themselves? No, they cannot. Who is making them do? There comes the Kartrutvam. So who is the Karta? Am I the Karta? No. Is Paramatma the Karta? No. So who are the Karta? Who is the Karta? It is this Swabhavika Prakriti. So, and where is that coming from? Because of our Sanchita Karmas. So once we have this Paramatma Tattva Jnanam, we will realize all this. And then we will understand whatever temptations that we have. Whenever the manas is running to do some certain things, we have to pause, think that our sanchita karmas are making this manas move towards that kind of action. So with my Paramatma Tattva Jnanam, whatever little I have acquired, this Tattva Jnanam, whatever little I have learned from these Bhagavad Gita shlokas, I have to put it into action. So let me not do this. Though my manas is running to do that thing, it is running because of the Sanchita karmas that were there, that is acting upon this manas. So this manas is pushing me to do that. But my Paramatma Tattva Jnanam, I have to put it into use. So we have to take a pause and we have to think in that way, and then we have to control that manas and say that it is not the right thing to do. We have to abstain ourselves. Only then we will be able to obtain this abhyasa. Only then we will be able to move forward with this abhyasa. And only then we will come to that chitta shuddhi. With the purification of the manas will happen only by this constant abhyasa. Okay, so here, what is the kriya padam? Srijati and pravartate. Srijati and pravartate. What is the kartrupadam for srijati? Prabhu. Prabhu srijati. Prabhu na srijati. Right? That is the kriyapadam here. Na srijati. Not just srijati, na srijati. Prabhu kam na srijati. Kartrutvam na srijati. Punaha karmani na srijati. Punaha karmaphala sanyogam na srijati. So kartrutvam. Kasya kartrutvam, lokasya kartrutvam. So here three karma padams are there for srijati. One is karmaphala sanyogam. The second one is karmani. The third one is lokasya kartrutvam. Lokasya kartrutvam na srijati, karmani na srijati, karmaphala sanyogam na srijati. Prabhu. Anantaram. So then if it is not the Prabhu who is the karta, then who is? Swabhavaha tu pravartate. It is the swabhava that is making you do all this. Okay, so here we have two kriya padani. One is srijati, the other one is pravartate. Srijati has three karma padani and one kartrupadam, whereas pravartate has swabhavaha tu pravartate. Only the kartrupadam is there. It is the swabhava that is making us do this. So here in the samasa, karma phala sanyogaha. Karma cha, phalam cha, karma phale. Dvandva, itaretara dvandva. Karma phalayoho sanyogaha. It is the Shashti Tatpurusha. Swabhavaha, swasya bhavaha, swabhavaha. It is the Shashti Tatpurusha. So any questions here in this shloka? Astu. Anantaram, Alivelu Bagini?
भगिनि नादत्ते कस्यचित् पापं न चैव सुकृतं विभुः अज्ञानेनावृतं ज्ञानं तेन मुह्यन्ति जन्तवः न आदत्ते कस्यचित् पापं न च एव सुकृतं विभुः अज्ञानेन आवृतं ज्ञानं तेन मुह्यन्ति जन्तवः न अव्ययं दत्ते दाधातुः आदत्ते दाधातुः
दाधातु आ उपसर्ग दाधातु
उपसर्ग दाधातुः
प्रथमपुरुष एकवचनं
प्रथमपुरुष एकवचनमपि
आत्मनेपदी
कस्याचित् तकारान्त कस्यचित् तकारान्त प्रथमपुरुष एकवचनं नपुंसकलिङ्ग
न इति चित् प्रत्ययम् अस्ति कस्य इस् किं शब्दस्य किञ्चित् शब्दस्य षष्ठी विभक्ति इति
स्वीकृतं कस्यचित् ओके चित् पापं అకారాంత నపుంసకలింగ ద్వితీయ ఏకవచనం నా అవ్యయం చ అవ్యయం ఏవం అవ్యయం సుకృతం సుకృతం అకారాంత పుంలింగ ప్రథమ యా ద్వితీయ ఏకవచనం ప్రథమ
ద్వితీయ విభక్తి
ద్వితీయ విభక్తి విభుః ఉకారాంత పుంలింగ ప్రథమ ఏకవచనం అజ్ఞానేన అజ్ఞానః అకారాంత పుంలింగ తృతీయ ఏకవచనం ఆవృతం అకారాంత పుంలింగ అకారాంత నపుంసకలింగ ద్వితీయ విభక్తి ఏకవచనం జ్ఞానం అకారాంత నపుంసకలింగ అకారాంత పుంలింగ ప్రథమ ద్వితీయ ఏకవచనం తేన తత్శబ్దస్య దకారాంత సర్వనామ తృతీయ ఏకవచనం ముహ్యంతి ముహ్ ధాతుః లట్లకారం ప్రథమ పురుష బహువచనం జంతవః
వదతు
జంతవః జంతుః కదా ఉకారాంత పుంలింగ ప్రథమ బహువచనం
అత్ర జ్ఞానం ఇది నపుంసకలింగమేవ అకారాంత నపుంసకలింగం జ్ఞానం
అజ్ఞానేన అజ్ఞానమపి నపుంసకలింగం తృతీయ ఏకవచనం పదార్థః
ఆవృతమపి క్త ప్రత్యయం ఖలు
ఆవృతం తా ప్రత్యయం వృధాతు తా ప్రత్యయం అని ఇక్కడ ద్వితీయ విభక్తి అవుతుందేమో ఏకవచనం ద్వితీయ విభక్తి భవతి
అది క్రియాపదం అవుతుంది అజ్ఞానేన జ్ఞానం ఆవృతం క్రియాపదం క్త ప్రత్యయం క్రియాపదమేవ అజ్ఞానేన జ్ఞానం ఆవృతం అజ్ఞానేన కర్తృపదం అజ్ఞానేన కర్తృపదం
కర్మణి అవుతుంది ఆవృతం కర్మణి
కర్మపదం జ్ఞానం కర్మపదం
పదార్థః విభుః పరమేశ్వరः కస్యచిదపి జీవస్య పాపం దురితం నా ఆదత్తే నా స్వీకరోతి సుకృతం చ పుణ్యమపి నైవ స్వీకరోతి జ్ఞానం జ్ఞానం అజ్ఞానేన ఆవృతం ఆచ్ఛన్నం తేన జంతవః జీవాः ముహ్యంతి మోహం ప్రాప్నువంతి భ్రామ్యంతి అన్వయః విభుః కస్యచిత్ పాపం నా ఆదత్తే సుకృతం చ ఏవ నా జ్ఞానం అజ్ఞానేన ఆవృతం తేన జంతవః ముహ్యంతి తాత్పర్యం పరమాత్మా కస్యాపి జీవస్య పాపం పుణ్యం వా నైవ గృహ్ణాతి అజ్ఞానేన జ్ఞానం ఆవృతం భవతి తేన సర్వేపి జంతవః మోహం ఉపగచ్చంతి రామానుజీయ మతం విభుః నా క్వాచిక్కః నా కస్యచిత్ సంబంధి ప్రశ్నాః విభుః కిం నాదత్తే విభుః కస్యచిత్ పాపం సుకృతం చ నాదత్తే జ్ఞానం కేన ఆవృతం జ్ఞానం అజ్ఞానేన ఆవృతం కే ముహ్యంతి జంతవః ముహ్యంతి జంతవః కిమర్థం ముహ్యంతి జంతవః కిమర్థం అజ్ఞానేన ఆవృతం ముహ్యంతి జంతవః అజ్ఞానేన ఆవృతం కిం అజ్ఞానేన ఆవృతం జ్ఞానం సంధికి చైవ చ ప్లస్ ఏవ వృద్ధి సంధికి అజ్ఞానేనావృతం అజ్ఞానేన ప్లస్ ఆవృతం సవర్ణ దీర్ఘ సంధికి సమాసః అజ్ఞానం నా జ్ఞానం నయి తత్పురుషః కృదంతః సుకృతం సుక్రూధాతు తా ప్రత్యయం నపుంసకే భావే ఆవృతం ఆ ప్రత్యయం వృధాతు తా కర్మణి
సో అత్ర క్రియాపదం ఆదత్తే ఆవృతం ముహ్యంతి త్రీణి సంతి ఆదత్తే అత్ర కర్తృపదం కిం
విభుః
సో న అత్ర అన్వయః కిం విభుః కస్యచిత్ పాపం న ఆదత్తే సుకృతం చ ఏవ న ఆదత్తే జ్ఞానం అజ్ఞానేన ఆవృతం తేన జంతవః muhyanti. So in the previous shloka, it was said that Paramatma does not do anything, right? Paramatma is not the reason, he's not the karta, he is not making these karmas happen, he is not the reason for the karma phala sanyoga also. Means the attachment that we have with the karma phalam, that is also not being caused by the Paramatma. We cannot simply escape saying without Shiva's Agnya, even ant won't bite. So because of his Agnya only, I am doing all this. We cannot say such things because Paramatma is not the reason for us to do any kind of thing, good or bad. So here, Vibhuhu papam na adatte. Sukritam api na adatte. Okay, he does not give us or make the good things or the bad things to happen. Kasyachit papam na adatte. Okay, so avritam. So then what is happening here? Jnanam ajnanena avritam. Ataha tena jantavaha muhyanti. Because our jnanam is being clouded by the ajnanam, because of that reason, jantavaha muhyanti. Here jantavaha means praninaha. We can take it as all the jivas. All the jivas are being confused. They are being caused to have this brahma. Why? Because of the ajnanam. So thinking that Paramatma is the one who is making us go through these difficulties is also because of ajnanam. Many times we see people, whenever they have even a little bit of difficulty, immediately they are very ready to blame the Paramatma. Paramatma, why did you give me all these difficulties? Why will he give you difficulties? He will not give. But when we have something good going on, oh, that is all because of our own cleverness, our own thing that we think, right? So that is not the thing. Whether it is good or whether it is bad, it is our own doing. And because of our ajnanam. And why will we do? Why does anybody wants to do bad things? Nobody wants to do bad things. Nobody wants to accrue papam. It is because of this ajnanam that covers up their buddhi. They think that they are doing the right thing when they are doing something wrong. Okay, because they think that is as much as their buddhi is working. So we have to sharpen that buddhi. We have to, if you look at jnanam as a mirror, if it is filled with dust, how will it shine? Can you see anything? Can the sun reflect off that mirror? Normally, if you put the sun mirror in the sun when it falls on the mirror, it will shine to the point where you cannot see. You cannot see anything. That much it will shine, the mirror. But if it is filled with dust, you cannot see anything. Not even a little bit of sun's rays will be reflected from it. So if you look at the mirror as the buddhi, then, and this dust as ajnanam, so our buddhi is being covered by this ajnanam. And so even when there is tattvajnanam right in front of us, like the Surya, we cannot see it because we are clouded by this ajnanam. So we have to remove that ajnanam. That is the reason for all kinds of things that are happening. All the bad things that people are doing, all the wrong ways that the people are thinking is because of this ajnanam. So where does this ajnanam come from? Why are people being covered with it? That we don't have to worry. Like how a small example is also given, like how you go out on the street, you accidentally step on some garbage. You come home and then you notice that you don't realize that you have stepped on some garbage. But once you come home, you will notice what will we do? We will immediately remove our shoes and thoroughly wash them off, thoroughly wash our feet and go. We don't think where is that garbage, where did that garbage come from, why was it there? We don't think about all that. What we do is the minute we find garbage, we simply clean it off. Similarly, we don't have to worry about from where this ajnanam is coming, at least for now, but we can simply work on removing that ajnanam. So to remove that ajnanam, jnanam is the only thing. We have seen also in the previous shlokas that jnana khadgena, right? So using jnanam as the sword, that is the only enemy of ajnanam. Ajnanam can only be removed with jnanam. So we have to practice in getting this jnanam. And what is this jnanam? Paramatma Tattva Jnanam. So we have to get and understand the Paramatma Tattva. For that only all our darshanas are there. Bhagavad Gita also explains the same thing. But otherwise, even our darshanas also, Uttara Mimamsa, Purva Mimamsa, Sankhya, Nyaya, Shastram, all these talk about the same. But they are explained differently because people are different. Not everybody will understand in the same way. The way people think can be a little different. So there are so many paths. So for people who can think a little logically, this Nyaya Darshanam will work for them. Yoga Shastram will work. So whoever can relate to that, whatever is given in those darshanas, they can pick their choice. But the ultimate goal of all these darshanas is to teach the Paramatma Tattvam and be able to attain the moksha. That is the ultimate goal of all these shastras. Okay, so here we have samasa word ajnanam, na jnanam ajnanam, naitat purusha, sukritam, su upasarga, kru dhato, and ktha pratyayam. Similarly, avritam. That also is ktha pratyayam, it is karmani. So here, interesting thing about the karakam, ajnanena jnanam avritam. So here avritam is karmani prayoga. Muhyanti is also karmani prayoga. So here ajnanena jnanam avritam. So there is a possibility for us to think that ajnanam is karanam, karanakarakam. So karanakarakam va kartrupadam va?
Ajnanena kartrupadam.
Karanakarakam.
Karanakarakam kim? Kimartham? If we are using ajnanam as a tool to cover the jnanam and to cover the jnanam, so there should be a karta who is using ajnanam as a tool to cover the jnanam, and that karta should be doing that action. Then we can call ajnanam as a karanakarakam. But here ajnanena avritam. So ajnanam itself is covering.
Jnanamto jnanam kappabadindi.
So ajnanena avritam. Ajnanam itself is covering. So here it will become the kartrupadam only, right? Ramena patitam. So ajnanena avritam. The ajnanam itself is covering the jnanam. So we can take ajnanena as kartrupadam.
No, jnanam is kartrupadam. Jnanam ajnanena avritam. Ajnanam is karmapadam. Jnanam is kartrupadam. Jnanam ajnanena avritam.
Na mahodaya, atra karmani prayoge asti kalu vakyam. So jnanam is in prathama vibhakti, karmapadam. Ajnanena jnanam avritam.
Okay. Ajnanena jnanam avritam.
The jnanam is being covered by the ajnanam. So ajnanena will be the kartrupadam, jnanam will be karmapadam, avritam is the kriya.
3 1 1 jnanam 1 3 1. No, 1 3 1. No, that is jnanam ajnanena avritam.
That is fine. In whichever order you put the words, jnanam is the one that is being covered. So tadeva karmapadam.
That is kartrupadam which will become 1 3 1. Normally I remember 1 3 1.
1 3 1 kim?
That is jnanam is in parama bhakti. This karma is in tritiya bhakti.
Mahodaya. Karmapadam tritiya vibhakti na bhavet kadapi. Karmapadam tritiya vibhaktau na bhavati kalu. Prathama vibhakti athava dvitiya vibhakti. Kartari prayoge dvitiya vibhakti. Karmani prayoge prathama vibhakti. Atra prathama vibhaktau asti. Ajnanena jnanam avritam. This is karmani prayoga vakyam. Ataha तथा एव तेन जन्तवः मुह्यन्ति. So here also tena we can take as because of this or by that ajnanam. Jantavah here tena is like ajnanena. Ajnanena jantavah muhyanti because the ajnanam took over. Because of that the people are confused.
अत्र तेन नपुंसकलिङ्ग भवति. तेन पदं नपुंसकलिङ्ग भवति खलु.
If it is representing ajnanena, if we are saying ajnanena jantavaha muhyanti.
Jantavaha is Kartrupadam here.
Here jantavaha is Kartrupadam. So,
okay, Jantavaha Chana muhyanti. Similarly, Jnanam Ajnanena Avrutam. Same, only Janta, because of Jantavaha muhyanti is in plural. No?
Jantavaha muhyanti. Here muhyanti we can take as kartari prayoga. It is not karmani. So tena here will become hetu. Tena, because of that ajnanam, the praninaha will be confused. Muhyanti.
Okay.
Okay, so tena we can take it as hetu rather than karanam. Because the praninaha, they are not using this ajnanam to get confused. Because of the ajnanam, they are becoming confused. So they are here the tena will become hetu. Okay. Tena represents ajnanena. Because of the ajnanam, the prani, the jantavaha are confused. So jantavaha kartrupadam, muhyanti kriyapadam, and tena will become hetu here. So whether it is hetu or karanakarakam or kartrupadam of a karmani prayoga vakyam, these three we have to check whenever a word is in tritiya vibhakti. Whenever a word is in tritiya vibhakti, first we have to check and see if the sentence is in karmani prayoga. If it is in karmani prayoga, then we have to see if this is the kartrupadam. If it is kartrupadam, yes, it is kartrupadam. Otherwise, if the sentence is in kartari prayoga, then a tritiya vibhakti padam can be a hetu or a karanakarakam. Whether it is a hetu or karanakarakam, you have to ask this question yourself. The kriya, to do the kriya, is the karta using this as a tool? No, the pranis won't use ajnanam as a tool to get confused, right? It is the reason why they are getting confused. So we have to recognize it as a hetu and not a karanakarak. Okay. Any questions in this shloka? Astu. Murthy Mahodaya, patitum ichchati va?
Patitumichhami. Jnanena tu tadajnanam yesham nashitamatmanah tesham adityavat jnanam prakashayati tatparam. Jnanena tu tat ajnanam yesham nasitam atmanah tesham adityavat jnanam prakashayati tatparam. Prakashayati iti kriyapadam, of course. First I will come one by one. Jnanena jnanam napumsakalinga tritiya vibhakti ekavachanam. Tu is avyayam. Tad dakaranta. All the three purushas, all the three lingas it is there. Tad ajnanam. Again, Punchakalinga Prathama Bhakti. Yesham, Yed Dakaranta. But that is Shashti Bhakti Bhavachana. Nasitam. Nasitam is Tapratya Nasitam. Dhatu I am not able to recognize.
Nash dhatu.
Nash dhatu Nasitam. Okay. Tapratya Nasitam.
Pratamam nich pratyayam, anantaram ksa pratyayam.
This one. Atmanaha, Atman Nakaranta. Atmanaha. Shashti Purusha, Shashti Vibhakti Ekavachanam. Atmanaha. Atmanaha. I am not able to tell the Vibhakti correctly. Okay.
Shashti vibhakti ekavachanam. Atman nakaranta linga shashti ekavachanam.
षष्ठी तेषां तद् शब्दस्य सः पुल्लिङ्ग तेषां षष्ठी विभक्ति बहुवचनम् आदित्यवत् आदित्यवत् means it is actually तद्धितान्त वत् प्रत्यय अज्ञानम् अज्ञानम् is again नपुंसकलिङ्ग प्रथमा विभक्ति और द्वितीया विभक्ति एकवचनम् प्रकाशयति अज्ञान आदित्यो ज्ञानम् ज्ञानम् ओनली ओके नॉट अज्ञानम् आदित्यवत् ज्ञानम् ओके प्रकाशयति प्रा उपसर्ग काश्चित् धातु काशयति धातु what is the dhatu I am not able to recognize काश्य
काश धातु
प्रकाशयति काश
पुनः
धातु
काश
ओके
धातु
प्रा उपसर्ग ओके that is प्रकाशयति actually प्रकाशयति निजंत लश्लकार तत्परम तत् again तत् तत् शब्दस्य तत्परम I am not able to recognize each individual this one tatparam I am not able to recognize.
Tatpara is a word by itself. It is like a samasa word, so you can put it together only.
Oh, tatparam. Okay. Tatparam means then tatparam single word means it param means it is napunsakalinga prathama vibhakti ekavachanam. Atmanah bhagavatah
द्वितीया विभक्ति
द्वितीया विभक्ति of course Parama and Dvitiya are both same, but depending on the context we have to see whether it is used in Parama Bhakti case or Dvitiya Bhakti case. Atmanah Bhagavatah Jnanena Jnanena Yesham Praninam Ajnanam Avidya Nasitam Vinasita Tesham Praninam tu Adityavat Surya Heva Jnanam आत्मज्ञानम तत्परम परमात्मतत्वम परमतत्वम प्रकाशयति विशदयति अन्वयः आत्मनः ज्ञानेन तर्हि भगवतः ज्ञानेन येषाम् अज्ञानं नाशितं तेषां तु येषां तेषां तर्हि यथा तथा लैक् यः कः लैक् येषाम् अज्ञानं नाशितं तेषां तु तज्ज्ञानस्य तज्ज्ञानम् आदित्यवत् परं प्रकाशयति तात्पर्यं येषाम् अज्ञानम् आत्मनः ज्ञानेन नाशितं भवति तेषां तज्ज्ञानं सूर्यः यथा समस्तं गद्यपिटसे सूर्यः यथा समस्त रूपज्ञानं सूर्यः यथा समस्त रूपज्ञानं प्रकाशयति तथा परमार्थतत्त्वं प्रकाशयति माध्वमत्वं शास्त्राध्ययनजन्येन भगवतत्त्वज्ञानेन येषाम् अज्ञानं नष्टं तेषां ज्ञानं परमात्मानं सूर्यवत् वशीकरोति रामानुजीयमतं परं ज्ञानम् इति अन्वयः परं ज्ञानम् इति अन्वयः अपरिमितं असङ्कुचितं ज्ञानम् इत्यर्थम् प्रश्नाः किं परं तत्त्वं प्रकाशयति ज्ञानं परं प्रकाशयति ज्ञानं किमिव तत्त्वं प्रकाशयति ज्ञानम् आदित्यवत् आदित्यैव किमिव तत्त्वं प्रकाशयति अज्ञानं केन नाशितः भवति Ajnanam Jnanena Nashritam Bhavati. Tesham Jnanam Bharatiyam Prakasayati. Yasam Ajnanam Nashikah. Tesham Jnanam Bharatiyam Prakasayati.
Yesham Jnanena Nashitam.
Yasam Ajnanam Jnanena Nashikah. Tesham Jnanam Bharatiyam Prakasayati. Param ityasya kah ardhah? Param Paramatatvam.
Paramartha Tattvam.
Paramartha Tattvam. Okay. But in the Padartha, Prabhupada, they have gone Paramatatvam only, of course. Okay, Sandhi. Tadajnanam, Tat plus Ajnanam, just to Sandhi. Adityavat Jnanam, Adityavat Jnanam, Stutva Sandhi. Samasaha, Ajnanam, Dushitam, Najnanam, Ajnanam. Very long word. Krudantah, Nasitam, Nas Dhatu, Nasitam, Nitpritya, Ta. Oh, Nasitam, Nitpritya is also there. Okay, Nasitam. Adityavat, Aditya plus Vatupritya, Tulyardhe, Aditya Sadrusam, Ityartha.
Astu. So, atra kriyapadam kim?
One is Nasitam, another one is Prakasayati.
Nashitam. Atra kartrupadam kim?
Kartrupadam Ajnanam.
Ajnanam.
Ajnanam Nasitam.
Ajnanam Nashitam.
Ajnanam
Kena nashitam?
Jnanena Nasitam.
Yesham atra yesham tesham asti kalu. So yesham ajnanam jnanena nashitam tesham
Jnanam Adityavat Tatparam Prakasayati. Second sentence Prakasayati is the Kriya. Yesham Tesham, there it is connected. Tesham Jnanam Tesham Adityavat Jnanam Tatparam Prakasayati.
So here yesham ajnanam nashitam. Whose ajnanam is destroyed, those people's jnanam will shine. So here yesham indicates a group of people, those people whose ajnanam is destroyed by jnanam. Yesham ajnanam jnanena nashitam tesham jnanam adityavat prakashayati.
Adityavat Prakasayati.
So कीदृशेन ज्ञानेन नाशितम् आत्मनः ज्ञानेन. Okay, what kind of jnanam is that? Is it any kind of jnanam? It is tattva jnanam basically. So atmanah jnanam. Atmanah is shashti sambandha there.
Okay.
And tat here, yesham tat ajnanam, tat is given. So tat ajnanam. Tat we can connect it with this here or in the jnanam. So atmanah jnanena yesham ajnanam nashitam tesham tu tat jnanam. Tat we can connect with jnanam. Adityavat param prakashayati. Adityavat will be?
That is first line jnanam we are connecting to second line Adityavat jnanam Tatparam Prakasayati. That tat we are connecting in the second sentence.
Yes. Yes, we can connect. So here, jnanena, in the first sentence, jnanena will be?
Jnanena. That is Karmapadam only, no?
No, no.
Karmapadam,
Karmapadam will
Nasitam.
never be Tritiya Vibhakti. That is one clue we have to observe.
But
Karmapadam.
Nasitam is there, no? Nasitam.
Nashitam is Kriya Padam.
But that is Nasitam means it is Kapratyam, no? That is Karmani only, no? Nasitam.
Nashitam,
Is Karmani only, no?
yeah. Even if
Kapratyam.
it is Karmani, what I'm saying is Karmapadam can never be in Tritiya Vibhakti.
So, madam, I'm getting a small doubt here. Just a standard example, I'm just now I have recollected. Phalam Ramena Khaditaha. Okay.
One second. Phalam Napumsakalingam asti.
Phalam Ramena Khaditam. That Ramena, which is in Tritiya Bhakti, is Kartrupadam. Phalam is Dutiya Bhakti. Okay.
No. Phalam is
Rama Phalam Khaditavan. In no case, Karma is in Tritiya Bhakti. Correct, I agree. I got.
No, Mahodaya, one second. Ramena phalam khaditam, atra phalam prathama vibhakti. It is not dvitiya vibhakti. It is karma padam and prathama vibhakti.
Okay.
Karma padam will never be in tritiya vibhakti. That you remember. Karma padam never be in tritiya vibhakti, no matter what.
Okay. That is
so
actually.
Jnanena is charanam.
Okay. If I put in standard way 311, that is Ramena Phalam 32311. Ramena Phalam Khaditam. That is 11 means actually Kriya is following karma. Ramena Phalam Khaditam. 3 means Tritiya Bhakti, Ramena Karta. Phalam karma is in here first Prathama Bhakti only. One is that is one, both are one, that is Kriya is following karma. Ramena Phalam Khaditam. In the other one, 1 2 1. Here 3 1 1. Or actually standard I just got confused.
Okay. So here prakashayati atra jnanam iti kartrupadam. Tatparam. So jnanam prakashayati. Adityavat is a kriya visheshanam.
Kriya visheshanam.
We are describing how it will shine. Prakashayati is nicha. So tatparam is karma padam. Prakashimpa chestundi. So it is prakashayati is in niche. It will make it shine. The jnanam will make it shine. Will make what shine? The tatparam, the parama tattvam. Okay, this jnanam will make the paramatma tattvam to come out and shine. Okay, because of this jnanam, that tatparam will glow. Will be made to glow. And adityavat, like how will be it made to glow? Like aditya. So adityavat is the kriya visheshan. Astu. So here what we have to observe is only jnanam is the only tool. Whatever we have discussed earlier, only jnanam is the only tool that can destroy ajnanam. Sometimes we forget that we have the tool with us. Many times, not sometimes. Many times we forget the fact that we have the tools. How do we have the tools? We have all these Bhagavad Gita shlokas with us. We are doing the abhyasa. We are learning the shlokas. We are trying to understand the meaning of these shlokas. But what are we forgetting? To put it into practice. When that situation comes, what are we doing? We are forgetting what we are learning through these shlokas, and we go to our old methods. So though we are acquiring some new tools by trying to understand these shlokas, we are learning new things. So all these should become our tools in doing our abhyasa. But we keep forgetting sometimes. And why do we forget? Sometimes because of the fear. That is what will be told in the next shloka. Because of the fear of something, we will forget the tools that we have and how to use the tools. We will forget all this. Let us go to the next shloka that will explain that more clearly. So
Madam,
any
that order is correct one, no? Those two, 121 and 311. That is correct rule. No?
yeah, basically for Karmani Prayoga 3-1.
311. 311 also.
In
That is,
Kartari Prayoga 1-2-3.
1 to
Not 3, 1-1. 1-1.
Okay.
I normally don't use those numbers, but since you are asking, I'm telling. Always remember, Karma Padam can never be in Trutiya Vibhakti.
Yes, yes, yes. Yes.
Astu. Anantaram Srinivasacharya Mahodaya, Patitum Ichchati va?
तद्बुद्धयस्तदात्मानः तन्निष्ठास्तत्परायणाः तद्बुद्धयस्तदात्मानः तन्निष्ठास्तत्परायणाः गच्छन्त्य पुनरावृत्तिं ज्ञाननिर्धूतकल्मषाः ज्ञाननिर्धूतकल्मषाः
Padavibhaga.
तत् बुद्ध्यस्
Tadbuddhayah.
बुद्धयः तद् आत्मानः तत् निष्ठाः तत् निष्ठाः तत्परायणाः
Gachanti Padavibhagam.
गच्छन्ति अपुनरावृत्तिं ज्ञानिनिं ज्ञाननिर्धूतकल्मषाः तद् शब्दं प्रथमा विभक्ति एकवचनम्.
Here we can take all these as samasa words. Tad buddhayaha, tad atmanaha, tad nishtaha. We can take as samasa words. So tad buddhayaha ekam padameva.
Okay. Tad buddhayaha, tad atmana, tad buddhayaha. प्रथमा विभक्ति स्त्रीलिंग प्रथमा विभक्ति बहुवचनम्. तद् आत्मानः सेम् वे प्रथमा स्त्रीलिंगम् आत्मन् शब्दम् पुंलिंगम् प्रथमा विभक्ति बहुवचनम्. आत्मानं तत् निष्ठाः तत् निष्ठाः पुंलिंगम् प्रथमा विभक्ति बहुवचनम्. तत् परायणाः पुंलिंगम् प्रथमा विभक्ति बहुवचनम्. गच्छन्ति बहुवचनम्. गच्छन्ति क्रियापदं लट्लकार बहुवचनम्.
लट्लकार प्रथम
पुरुष बहुवचनम्. गच्छन्ति अपुनरावृतं वृत्तिम् अपुनरावृत्तिम् पुनः विसर्ग पुनः आवृत्तिम्
Mahodaya.
आवृत्तिम्.
That also you can take it as one word only. Apunaravritti. Ikaranta strilinga shabdam dvitiya vibhakti.
एकवचन. ओके. ज्ञान निर्धूत कल्मषाः प्रथमा विभक्ति बहुवचनम् पुंलिंगम्. ओके. पदार्थः तद्बुद्धयः परमात्मनिष्ठमतयः तदात्मनः परमात्मनिष्ठचित्ताः तन्निष्ठाः परमात्मनिष्ठस्थितयः. तद्बुद्धयः परमात्मनिष्ठमतयः तदात्मनः परमात्मनिष्ठचित्ताः तन्निष्ठाः परमात्मनिष्ठस्थितयः. तत्परायणाः परमात्मैव परे मार्गः येषाम् ज्ञाननिर्धूतकल्मषाः आत्मज्ञानविनिर्गता पापाः आत्मज्ञानविनिर्गतपापाः.
అంటే the papas that are gone because of our atma jnanam.
Okay. पुनरावृत्तिं पुनः अनागमनं मोक्षं गच्छन्ति लभन्ते. अन्वय तद्बुद्धयः तदात्मनः तन्निष्ठाः तत्परायणाः ज्ञाननिर्धूतकल्मषाः अपुनरावृत्तिं गच्छन्ति. तात्पर्यं येषां बुद्धिः परमात्मनि रमते चित्तं तथैव विहरति स्थितिः सर्वदा तत्रैव संभवति प्राप्यं च तत्त्वं च सः एव प्राप्यं च तत्त्वं स एव भवति. तादृशाः ज्ञानेन कल्मषं नाशयन्तः पुरुषाः यतः पुनरागमनं न भवति तादृशं मोक्षं प्राप्नुवन्ति. प्राप्यं च तत्त्वं स एव भवति तादृशाः ज्ञानेन कल्मषं नाशयन्तः पुरुषाः यतः पुनरात्मनं न भवति तादृशं मोक्षं प्राप्नुवन्ति.
Punaragamanam means rebirth. They will not be born again and they will obtain moksha. Those who are able to destroy their papam, kalmasham nashayantaha purushaha. So these purushaha are able to destroy their papas with what? Jnanena. Kidrishena jnanena, tattvam jnanena, tattva jnanena. And how do they obtain that tattva jnanam? Prapyam cha tattva.
రేపు ఎల్లుండి పెట్టండి. రేపు వేళ కమిషన్ కసబుట్టిన అయితే పెట్టలేదు. రేపు మామూలుగా అది జాగ్రత్తలు వీరు కసరబట్టు లేదమ్మా వాళ్ళు చెప్తున్నా కదా.
So how do they obtain this kind of tattva jnanam? Tat buddhayaha tad atmanaha yesham buddhihi paramatmani ramate. So those who focus their buddhi on the Paramatma only, ramate, chittam tatraiva viharati. So their chittam, their focus is constantly on Paramatma only. Sthitihi sarvada tatraiva sambhavati. Their sthiti also, that stableness, that focus, that shraddha should also be in obtaining the Paramatma tattvam. Then they will obtain prapyancha tattvam. So they will obtain the tattvam, and tadrishaha jnanena. By obtaining that kind of jnanam, they will be able to destroy all their papams. Kalmasham nashayantaha purushaha. So the purushaha who are able to destroy all their papams because of the tattva jnanam that they have obtained by constant practice, constant focus, constant shraddha. Sarvada tatraiva, that is okay. Purushaha punaragamanam na bhavati. For them, this punaragamanam means that rebirth will not happen because they have destroyed all their papam. So that is what I'm saying, that destruction can happen, that destruction of this ajnanam can happen only with the Paramatma Tattva Jnanam. So we keep wondering, where did this ajnanam come from? Why am I doing like this? Why is my manas always running towards doing such things? It is, we have to realize it is because of our sanchita karmas. The bad karmas or sometimes even the good karmas make us again still be bound by the karma phalapeksha. So we have to realize that and constantly do that abhyasa of Paramatma Tattvam. And what is that Paramatma Tattvam? What are the steps we discussed in a couple of weeks back? The steps. First, we have to look at everything, every vastu in this as asat. right? And then whatever karma we are doing, also we have to consider it as ashashvatam. So this is not that permanent. So whatever we are doing only as part of our duty, but that should not lessen our shraddha towards it. We even compared this to how our workers work for us. They work with, we expect at least, whether they do or not, what are we expecting? We expect them to do perfectly with all the shraddha, with all the energy that they have in our house. But are we giving anything to them? Are they expecting anything out of that except for the wages? No, nothing else. So they are doing that as a duty because it is their duty. But they are doing with shraddha without any kind of phalapeksha other than the wages. That wages, of course, everybody needs. That is not any extra thing that they are expecting. Similarly, we also have to do without any kind of phalapeksha, without any kind of attachment, but with utmost shraddha. So these are all the steps we discussed a few weeks ago. Only by doing such kind of practice, this Tattva Jnanam can be obtained. And even after we gather a little bit of Tattva Jnanam, we should also be able to use it when in need. That is the Abhyasa. Otherwise, we are discussing the shlokas, we are understanding, we have to practice detachment, and the minute we are done studying this, we go and we do our work, and then again we get attached. Oh, I did this, why am I not getting the result? Like that. So we have to remember during our daily life, we have to remember that we have to practice this. And that will happen with mananam. That also we discussed about the word mananam. How that constant mananam should be there. Only then we will be able to remember in everything that we do that we have to put all this into whatever steps we have learned, we have to put it into practice, and that is possible only with constant mananam, right? So he who does all this and obtains the Paramatma Tattva Jnanam will be able to attain moksha. In this context, a small story we can think of about the Dhruva. We all know the story of Dhruva. It is given in Dhruvopakyanam. So there, what happens when he is sitting on the lap of his father, his stepmother will come, pull him off, and says, "You do not deserve to sit in your father's lap. If you want to sit, you have to go and get the Sakshat Vishnu's blessings. Only then you will be able to come and sit on your father's lap." So then he will go. He will go to the forest to perform tapas. So on the way, Narada will meet him and he will say, "Where are you going?" So he says, "To sit on my father's lap, I have to take, the blessings of Vishnu Murti. So I'm going to perform the tapas." So Narada says, "You should not, take your stepmother's words so seriously. You have so much of life ahead. You are the son of a king. You have so many duties to perform. At this very young age, why are you going to perform the tapas?" So he says, "No, no, no. I have to get, sakshatkaram of Vishnu. I want to sit on my father's lap rightfully. So I am going." So he is very much determined. So Narada, realizing that, he will give him the Narayana mantra and he will go and he will perform the tapas. And because of the blessings of Narada, Vishnu Murti will appear, very soon to him, because normally all the munis will be doing the tapas for so many thousands of years and still they don't get sakshatkaram, right? But Dhruva, relatively, he will get the sakshatkaram of Vishnu very soon because of the blessings. So then he will, Vishnumurti will come. He will bless. He will ask, "What do you want?" So he will say that this is what I want. I want your blessings and I want to be able to sit on my father's lap. And that is the reason why I am performing this tapas. So he will say, and I think during this process of tapas, he will also realize that he also wants moksha. So he will ask, "I also want moksha." So then he says, "Okay, it is not now that you will get your moksha. You go back, you perform your duties as a king, and then one day you will attain moksha. And that time you will be identified as a Dhruva Nakshatra and you will be there forever. But until then, you go back. You go back and perform lot of yajnas. That is how you are going to worship me. You continue worshipping me through yajnas. So he will send him back. So here, what are the things that we have to look at? So Dhruva comes back and then he will start thinking, okay, everything happened so fast. Let me just pause and think what is happening. So he realizes that Narada told me that I should not care about the insult that my stepmother did to me. So what was he implying by that? See, I am going to perform tapas, and why did he say that I should not take the words of my stepmother seriously? Maybe he thought that rajogunam is there. Okay, because of the rajogunam, that paurusham comes. Why I have to sit? Nobody can stop me. If I am needed to do the tapas, I will do the tapas. Maybe he took it like that, but that is not what I really wanted. I really wanted the sakshatkaram of Vishnu. It is not my rajogunam, but maybe to Narada Maharshi it appeared like that. So maybe he was trying to suggest that I have to work on my rajogunam. And then when okay, so here another thing what we have to see is Narada Maharshi also tells him after giving him the Narayana mantra, he also tells you have to perform this tapas with looking at Paramatma in everything that you see. That kind of tapas you have to do. Okay, not simply chanting this Narayana mantra. Everywhere you have to see Paramatma Tattvam in this Srishti. With that feeling in your mind, with that kind of thought in your mind, you have to practice this Narayana mantra. Then the Lord will appear. So the Lord appears. But he was not, even though he asked for moksha, he was not given immediately the moksha. Why? Because then he's self, what do you call that? Parishilana. He's doing parishilana of his own actions. So he thinks, I have done everything that Narada Maharshi asked me. Why did not I was given this moksha? So then he realizes Narada Maharshi asked me to look at everything and see Paramatma in everything in this Srishti. With that mindset, I have to do the tapas. But I looked at everything in the Srishti with the Paramatma feeling. But except for one person, I couldn't see Paramatma in my stepmother. Okay, to me, she appeared. She did not appear like Paramatma. So that is one place where I did not practice what Narada Maharshi told me. So that is the reason why I was not able to get moksha. If I had looked or looked at my stepmother also as Paramatma, with that samabhavam as Paramatma, then I would have obtained moksha. So this is the kind of Atma Parishilana that he has done. So he had to go back. For that reason, he was not given moksha. He had to go back and live for another so many thousands of years. And with that, and during those years, not simply living, while he is living all those years, he had to constantly practice this Paramatma Tattvam, looking at everything and seeing Paramatma in everything, and also performing the yagas and worshipping Lord Vishnu through these yagas. And then finally, one day, he obtained moksha. Okay, so here, what are we looking here? What is this shloka saying? Tad buddhayaha, tad atmanaha, tannistha, tat parayanaha. Okay, with all these jnana nirdhuta kalmashaha. So all these people with all these qualities, jnana nirdhuta kalmashaha, they will be able to get rid of their papas with this kind of jnanam. Apunaravrittim gachanti. So apunaravrittim means moksham, means not being able to come back. Apunaravritti, not being able to come back, means moksham. They will attain moksham. That is why they cannot come back. Gachanti. So they obtain moksham. So here, what are the things that Dhriva has done? Now, when he was sitting on the lap of his father, when the stepmother comes and says, "You get down. You don't have. You are not qualified to sit on your father's lap. You go and perform that. Vishnu tapas for Vishnu's pratyaksham." So then he could have said, why do you say that? I am as equal as your son. We both are born to the same king. I have every right to sit on my father's lap. He did not say that. He just listened to her and he went away to the forest to get that done. So with this, that is the kind of tat buddhi, means the mind has to be set. The mind has to be set on what needs to be done rather than finding alternatives, rather than finding. So once you decide you have to get something, you have to go all the way, whatever it is needed. There are no shortcuts. There are no anything. So that is kind of an example for the tat buddhi that is given in this shloka. We can see that in Dhruva's behavior. So this story is not simply a story. For a person to obtain moksha, what are the qualities they need to possess? And even after possessing all these qualities, just because he was unable to see Paramatma in his stepmother, he was not given moksha, even though everything else was perfect. Just that one thing, to perform or to obtain even that, to be able to see Paramatma even in his stepmother, he needed so many years of abhyasa. Right? So tat buddhi, we can look at that behavior of Dhruva without any question, not even one question asked. He goes. That is the kind of mindset that one should have to obtain something. Okay, and this cannot be easily obtained. That will take so many janmas abhyasa. So Dhruva is already an Atma who has done so much of abhyasa in his previous lives. So that is the reason why he was at such a young age. He understood what needs to be done. He was able to take what needs to be done, and he went away. Who in that age will be able to do that? They will simply sit and cry. But he was not like that. He thought about it. Okay, if I need to earn this, then I have to do this. Okay, then I will do it. So he went. So that is the tat buddhi that was given. And again, when Narada Maharshi asks him, you should not take such things seriously. You have so many duties to perform. You just go, don't ignore whatever your stepmother said. Even there will be many such insults that can come to you from various people. You should not take them seriously. So did he think, oh, correct, why am I going through all this trouble? It is not easy to do this tapas. So Narada Maharshi himself, some great Maharshi told me this. So let me go back. Did he give up like that? No. He says, no, I have to get the pratyakshakaram of Vishnu. So he did not listen to Narada Maharshi, or he did not give up. So that we can look at as tadatmanaha. So it shows that mamekatvam, tadatmanaha, means that attaining that goal has become, he absorbed that feeling so much. It is also, we can also refer to it as mamekatvam, tadatmanaha. So whatever he wants to achieve, he absorbed it so well. It has become a part of him. So in that way, we can see that lakshyam, towards achieving the lakshyam. And then the third one is, once he went there to the forest, he being such a young boy, small boy, he was not distracted. You know how we see people, boys, young children being distracted, right? They will sit to do one thing and then they are distracted with 100 things around them. And then he went to the forest, and forest has lots of interesting things, but he was not distracted. There will be so many animals that he can play with, so many, colorful flowers and all this. But he was not distracted. He remembered his lakshyam and he focused only on that. So that can be taken as an example of tannishta that is given in this shloka. So those are the kind of things that he and tatparayanata. So nothing else is important other than achieving his lakshyam. So with that kind of feeling, these four words, we can take example from Dhruva to understand how the Tatbuddhayaha will be, how the Tadatmanaha will be. So the Tadatmanaha are so immersed in achieving their goal, nothing can stop them. nothing can stop them. They don't find excuses. They don't find a reason to give up. So they are constantly focused on their lakshyam. No matter how difficult it is, they want to just get it. That's it. So there is no more second thought. So, but even after having all these qualities, and he has all these qualities because of so many abhyasa done in so many lives, in his previous lives. And even after that, that one minute thing, he was not able to look Paramatma in his stepmom, and he was pushed back. You go practice, you still worship, you practice that, Paramatma Tattvam in everything, looking at everything as Paramatma, or thinking that Paramatma is there in everything. With that kind of thought, you do your abhyasa, and then you will achieve your moksha. So that is the kind of abhyasa that is needed. It is not attained overnight. It will take several births, definitely. But we should not give up, thinking that, oh, that is never possible for us. Only people like Dhruva, or such great sadhavaha only will be able to do. It is not up to us. We cannot think like that. Today we are seeing them at that point, but their previous lives, they also might have started like us. Over the births, over the births, over the births, they have come here. So we should not give up, because we have to think of it in this way. Many times people say, who sees, who knows what is going to happen after we die? Who knows? We don't even remember who we are in our past life. So why worry about it? Why should we worry about our next janma? Because in the next birth, we don't remember who we are in this birth. That is true. That is perfectly true. We don't remember who we are in the previous birth. But aren't we happy when good things are happening to us? Oh, I must have done something good in my past lives. So that is the reason why I am blessed with what we have today. This kind of birth that we have, this kind of buddhi that we have, that we want to read Bhagavad Gita shlokas, all this did not come overnight. Because of the abhyasas that we have done in the past life, we are blessed with this kind of buddhi in this life. So if we continue with that practice, and whatever small shortcomings that we have, if we use these tools that we have, that we are acquiring every day, we are acquiring a new tool in our thinking. So by using these tools to go even further, imagine how wonderful our life will be in the next birth. Whatever little difficulties that we are facing in this life, we will not be facing in the next life. So we can focus completely on the good things and on detachment, right? So with this buddhi that we are acquiring, with whatever little practice that we are doing, whatever we acquiring will not end the minute our sarira falls. It will be carried on into our next birth with our Atma. So when we take up a new body, that will still be there. We will proceed from there. So that is another thing which is very, very important for us to remember. Why? Because when I started learning Samskritam, many people will be asking, and I heard this from others also who are learning Samskritam. They also shared with me that their family and friends will be asking them, why are you learning Samskritam now? What are you going to do learning at this age? Why don't you simply enjoy? Why do you have to go through all this trouble and all that? So for them, the only question is, they are thinking that when we die in this life, when the sharira falls off in this life, whatever abhyasa that we have done, good or bad, will also drop. That is not true, right? We know that it is not true. Whatever good or bad that we have done is being carried on. So we have to look at it like, the more abhyasa that we do before we become incapable in this life, before we fall off, or sometimes we might be alive but we may not be able to do any kind of learning because of our physical ailments or mental ailments that might come later on in our life. We don't know what is in store for us. So whatever time we have left, and when we are capable of doing, do as much as you can the good things, the satkarmas, and learn, do as much of abhyasa that you can. Keep doing satkarmas, keep practicing Paramatma Tattvam. Means not having ragadveshas, trying to minimize the ragadveshas that we have, trying to be detached to the karmas that we do, taking the difficulties and the good that come in our way with equal strength. We only have to pray for strength to withstand the difficulties that will be thrown at us, right? So, and before, when we are tempted to do something bad, like we feel angry at somebody, we in that anger we try to say something to them, then we have to remember, no, it will cause us papam, and because of that papam, sometime I only have to take that pain. I don't know how much pain I will be giving to that person by saying these words. More than him, I will be taking more of that pain. That if we remember, automatically we will be able to control, at least to some extent. We can start off with 1% and then slowly work our way through. So that we have to constantly remember. Then it will become easy for us to practice whatever is being told here. Otherwise, it will be very difficult. Directly, nobody will attain moksha. That also we have to remember. Abhyasam. Now we see many people performing Sangeeta kacheris, Nritya Pradarshanas, and all these. Do you think they have become that Nartakaha or Nartaki or Gayakaha or Gayaki overnight? No, if you ask them, they will tell how much of effort that they have put. They were breathing in and breathing out with that abhyasa only. Only then they will reach that level where people are able to notice them. Otherwise, just in the house, they will be singing to themselves. That is a different thing. But that kind of abhyasa is needed even for, for some kala. Then for this kind of tattvajnanam, how much abhyasa is needed? So we should not be disheartened if we are not able to. 10 times we are able to control our anger. 11th time we are not able to control. That is okay. We are still in abhyasa. But 11th time, when we are not able to control the anger, we should not feel discouraged by that. Oh, I can never control my anger, so I'm just giving up. And then we get angry every time. That is not the solution, right? We have to excuse ourselves. That also is again very much needed. We have to learn to forgive ourselves for the mistakes that we do. We have to accept the mistakes first and then forgive ourselves for the mistakes that we do. Only then we will be able to go forward. Either we are not accepting the mistakes that we do, or if we are unable to forgive ourselves or others for the mistakes that are being done, we can never move forward in this path. So these are the two things that we have to practice. Many times when we do some mistake and when somebody complains, immediately we become defensive, right? That also, before becoming defensive, we have to take pause and we have to accept. So today while cooking, I burnt something. So somebody in the family complained, it is burnt. Our first reaction is we'll try to put it on somebody, or we will try to, oh, somebody called me at that time, so I was distracted, so that got burnt. That is the normal things that we try to tell. That is becoming defensive. But if we say, yes, that is correct. I did not pay attention. I got distracted, but I should have switched off the stove when somebody called me and gone there. I will try and not repeat that. If we tell that to ourselves, we don't have to tell anybody. First, we have to convince ourselves. Then the probability of we making that mistake again will fall down by 50% there itself. If we do not accept, we are always finding some reason to put that on. So then that learning process or that abhyasa will not happen. So that is the kind of abhyasa that is needed, that this shloka is telling. So these words, whenever we come across these words, we have to remember Dhruva and the kind of determination and that strength that he put through, that mental strength that he put through, because at that age it is not easy. That age it is not easy. But if he is able to do that at that age, it means that he has done so much of abhyasa over the births, that this janma he got that kind of strength. So that is what we need to remember with this shloka. And coming back to the analysis of this shloka, what are the kriya padams here? Gachanti is the only kriya padam. So ke gachanti, jnana nirdhuta kalmashaha gachanti. The people who are able to destroy their papams with the jnanam. Jnana nirdhuta kalmashaha gachanti. Again, we have Visheshanas. And who are these Jnana Nirdhuta Kalmashaha? Did they become Jnana Nirdhuta Kalmashaha overnight? No, they are Tat Buddhayaha. Those are the people who have practiced with their buddhi, that nishta, that focus or that shraddha, tadatmanaha. Those who have indulged themselves in the practicing, in the abhyasa to attain that goal, that lakshyam, whatever that goal is, and that lakshyam is none other than obtaining the Paramatma Tattvam. Tad nishtaha. So the nishta indicates that shraddha, focus, and tat parayanaha. Tat parayanaha indicates that there is nothing more important than this. That also should be there, because all of us have these qualities, but we have only very little. Only for 2 minutes we have that buddhi. Only for 1 hour we have that tadatmanaha. Okay, 1 hour we indulge ourselves and then we get tired and go and switch on the TV and watch a movie, right? So, but if we do that, then we cannot become the Jnana Nirdhuta Kalmashaha, Tatparayanaha. So we have to completely immerse ourselves in that Lakshyam. And Tad Nishtaha, that complete focus. Of course, you can rest. It's not like we should not rest or anything, but that complete focus. Only when we are able to attain that kind of Shraddha, then we will become this Jnana Nirdhuta Kalmashaha, through which we are able to destroy our own papams. And then Punaravrittim Gachanti, Moksham Prapyate, we can say that. Okay. So here we have only one Kartripadam, Jnana Nirdhuta Kalmashaha. We can take all the other words as Visheshanas to this. And Apunaravrittim is Karmapadam, Gachanti is the Kriyapadam. Astu. Any questions here? Here we have the samasas. So here Tad Buddhayaha, Tasmin Buddhihi Yesham Te. So Tasmin Buddhihi. So your buddhi is completely immersed in that. In what? Paramatma Tattvam. Yesham Te. Those who have that kind of buddhi. Those who have that kind of Atma. Tasmin Atma Yesham Te. Okay, in that Paramatma Tattvam, in that Shraddha, in that thinking, in that Lakshyam. Tannishtaha, tasmin nishta yesham te. Those whose nishta or shraddha is indulged in that, is immersed in that. Tat parayanaha, param ayanam parayanam karmadharaya, tat parayanam yesham te. So tat parayanata is basically having that kind of thought where you feel that nothing is important more than that. Param ayanam. Ayanam is like prayanam, right? Param. And your goal is to reach that. In that sense, that is parayanam. And tat parayanam yesham te. Those who have that ayanam as their goal, those people, those are called tat parayanaha. Jnana nirdhuta kalmashaha. Jnanena nirdhutam. Jnana nirdhutam. Nirdhutam is to destroy. Destroying what? Kalmasham. Jnana nirdhutam. Jnanena nirdhutam. Destroyed by the jnanam. What is being destroyed by the jnanam? Kalmasham. Means papam. Jnana nirdhutam kalmasham. Kalmasham that is destroyed by jnanam. Yesham te bahuvrihi. Apunaravrittim. Na punaravrittihi tam. Naitat purusha. That which does not come back. Those people who do not come back, it is because they have attained moksha. Astu. So any questions in this shloka? Anantaram, Lakshmi Narsimhacharya.
प्रश्नाः
Oh, na patati.
considered.
No, Mahudaya patati kalu? Na patati.
No.
Okay, patati.
Only. Okay. ज्ञाननिर्धूतकर्मषाः कां गच्छन्ति ज्ञाननिर्धूतकल्मषाः पुनरावृत्तिं गच्छन्ति
Apunaravrittim.
अपुनरावृत्तिं ज्ञाननिर्धूतकल्मषाः कीदृशाः भवन्ति? ज्ञाननिर्धूतकल्मषाः तद्बुद्धयः तदात्मनः तन्निष्ठाः तत्परायणाः सदृशाः भवन्ति। अपुनरावृत्तिः इत्यस्य का अर्थः? पुनरागमनम् पुनरावृत्तिः अस्य अर्थः इत्यस्य अर्थः। ज्ञाननिर्धूतकल्मषाणां कुत्र बुद्धिः भवति? ज्ञाननिर्धूतकल्मषाणां परमात्मनि बुद्धिः भवति। ज्ञाननिर्धूतकल्मषाणां परम् अयनं किम्? ज्ञाननिर्धूतकल्मषाणां परमयनम् अपुनरावृत्तिं मोक्षम्।
Paramatma.
Paramayanam is the goal. The prayanam is the journey towards what? Means like you can look at it as lakshyam. So we can say Paramatma Tattvam.
Paramatma or moksha.
Kalmashanam paramam ayanam kim. What is their goal? Paramatma Tattvam or moksham also you can say.
Moksham.
Astu. So we saw this samskritam also.
Sandhi. तद्बुद्ध्यस्तदात्मानस्तन्निष्ठास्तत्परायणाः तद्बुद्धयः प्लस तदात्मानः विसर्गसन्धि सकार विसर्गलोप सकार तदात्मानः तन्निष्ठाः विसर्गसन्धि सकार तन्निष्ठाः तत्परायणाः विसर्गसन्धि सकारः गच्छन्त्यपुनरावृत्तिं गच्छन्ति अपुनरावृत्तिं यण् संधि
already read, so we'll
samasam you have mentioned.
Dhanyavadah. So Anantaram would like to read the next shloka.
Aham pathami.
Patatu Mahoday.
Vidya vinaya sampanne brahmane gavihastini shunichaiva swapake cha pandita samadarshinaha. Vidya vinaya sampanne samasta padam. Vidya vinaya sampanne brahmane gavi hastini shuni cha eva swapake cha panditaha samadarshinaha. Vidya vinaya sampanna vidya vinaya sampanna hakaranatah pulinga saptamya ekavachanam sampanne brahmane pulingam brahmane saptamya ekavachanam gavi go shabdam saptamya ekavachanam strilingam shuni pulingam saptamya ekavachanam cha eva
Hastini Vismarati Mahodaya Bhavan.
Hastini pulingam hastihi
Hastini
Hastin shabdam Hastini saptamya ekavachanam pulinga saptamya ekavachanam pulinga saptamya ekavachanam cha अन्वयम् अव्ययम् एव अव्ययम् श्वपाकः ఇది కూడా పూర్ణలింగం సప్తమి ఏకవచనం చ అవ్యయం పండితాః ఏకవచనం అది ఆకారాంత పూర్ణలింగం ఏకవచనం అది బహువచనం ప్రథమ విభక్తి బహువచనం సమదర్శినః ఇది దిస్ ఆల్సో పూర్ణలింగం అకారాంత పూర్ణలింగం ప్రథమ సమదర్శిన్ శబ్దం పండితాః జ్ఞానినః విద్యా వినయ సంపన్నే विद्याविनयाभ्यां युक्ते ब्राह्मणे विप्रे गवि धेनौ हस्तिनि गजे शुनि च एव शुनके च श्वपाके च चण्डाले च समदर्शिनः समानदृष्टयः। अन्वयः पंडिताः विद्याविनयसम्पन्ने ब्राह्मणे गवि हस्तिनि शुनि च एव श्वपाके च समदर्शिनः भवन्ति। अध्यावृतमः भवन्ति। पंडिताः विद्याविनयसम्पन्ने ब्राह्मणे धेन्वां गजे कुक्कुरे चण्डाले च समदर्शिनः भवन्ति। एतेषु सर्वेषु अपि समानं ब्रह्म पश्यन्ति इत्यर्थः। विद्या आत्मनो बोधः, विनयः विषयाणाम् उपशमः। माध्वमतं ज्ञानिनः विद्याविनयसम्पन्ने ब्राह्मणे गवि गजे शुनि श्वपाके च विद्यमानानि भगवद्रूपाणि समानि पश्यन्ति। ब्राह्मणादिषु दोष सद्भावेपि तत्र स्थानि भगवद्रूपाणि निर्दुष्टानि गुणपूर्णानि विलसन्ति। रामानुजीय मतं विद्याविनयसम्पन्नः ब्राह्मणः गौः हस्ति श्वपाकः इति षट्स्वपि विषयेषु पंडिताः आत्मयथार्थविदः समादर्शिनः ज्ञानैकाकारतया आत्मा तु सर्वत्र समः इति पश्यन्ति। प्रश्नार्थः
पठतु।
के समदर्शिनः? पंडिताः समदर्शिनः। ब्राह्मणः कीदृशो भवति? ब्राह्मणः विद्याविनयसम्पन्ने भवति। विद्याविनयसम्पन्नाः भवन्ति। सम्पन्नः विद्याविनयसम्पन्नः भवति। पंडिताः
समदर्शिनः विद्याविनयसम्पन्नः is one of the qualities. Vidyavinayasambannah is one of the qualities. But who are Samadarshinaha? Who have the Vidyavinayasambannah?
Panditaha.
Panditaha. So, Ke Samadarshinaha Panditaha.
Panditaha. Panditaha. Panditaha केषु केषु समदृष्टयः भवन्ति? ब्राह्मणे गवि हस्तिनि शुनि श्वपाके च समदृष्टयः भवन्ति।
What did you tell for the second one? Brahmanah कीदृशो भवति?
विद्याविनयसम्पन्नः भवति।
Okay.
అది ఏకవచనంలోనే ఉంది కదా మొదలు. విద్యావినయసంపన్నే బ్రాహ్మణే దానికి విశేషణం
విద్యావినయసంపన్నః భవతి.
విద్యావినయసంపన్నः భవతి. సంధిః చైవ చ అధికం ఏవ వృద్ధిసంధిః సమాసః విద్యావినయసంపన్నే విద్యా చ వినయశ్చ విద్యావినయౌ ద్వంద్వసమాసः విద్యావినయాభ్యాం సంపన్నः తస్మిన్ తృతీయా తత్పురుషः.
अस्तु. सो अत्र क्रियापदं किम् अध्याहृतं? भवन्ति.
भवन्ति अध्याहृतं.
कर्तृपदं किम्?
ब्राह्मण. पंडिताः पंडिताः
पंडिताः
पंडिताः.
समदर्शिनः किं भवति?
पंडिताः समदर्शिनः.
पंडिताः समदर्शिनः भवन्ति. So here Samadarshinaha we can take as Videya Visheshana. Panditaha Samadarshinaha Bhavanti. Okay. So Samadarshinaha will become Videya Visheshana to Panditaha. Panditaha is Kartrupadam. So Panditaha Kasmin Vishaye Samadarshinaha Bhavanti. Brahmane.
బ్రాహ్మణే విద్యా వినయ సంపన్నే బ్రాహ్మణే ఈదృశ అనేది వస్తుంది కదా. బ్రాహ్మణే గవి హస్తిని శుని చ స్వపాకే చ.
Swapake cha. So these are all adhikaranams. These are all adhikaranams. In these Samadarshinaha Panditaha Bhavanti. So here basically this shloka is telling about how to look at everything and see Paramatma in that. So Panditaha means those who have the Paramatma Tattva Jnanam. Okay, Panda means Atma Jnanam. Panda asya asti Panditaha. So Panditaha is he who has that Atma Tattva Jnanam. Such kind of a person is called Pandita. So that Pandita, who will be a Panditaha? He who sees at Vidya Vinaya Sampanna Brahmanaha, Goho, Hastini, Shuni and Shvapake. So Vidya Vinaya Sampannaha Brahmanaha means a person who is Vidya Vinaya Sampannaha is called Brahmanaha. Okay, any person who has that knowledge, not only having the knowledge, but Vinaya Sampannaha also. Simply having a knowledge is not enough. Having the knowledge and also having Vinayam, only then he will be a learned person. Otherwise, simply having knowledge is not enough. If one has a true knowledge, that he will also be Vinaya Sampannaha. That is only the true knowledge. Simply acquiring knowledge without Vinayam means he did not understand that knowledge completely. So here Vidya means not simply maths or physics or chemistry. It is about the Paramatma Tattvam also we can take. That also is discussed. We have two kinds of Vidyas. One is Paravidya, Paravidya and Aparavidya. So Paravidya is like this Atma Tattva Jnana Vidya. Aparavidya, you can take it as all the other kinds of Vidya. We have so many kalas. So all those other come under that category. And in case of both, one needs to have Vinayam. Simply acquiring that Vidya is not enough. So how you look at Vidya Vinaya Sampannaha Brahmanaha, the same kind of respect one should have in the cow, the same kind of respect one should have for the hasti, the elephant, and then shuni means in the dog, and shvapake. Shvapake means a jivi that eats a dog's meat. A jivi that any animal or human or whoever eats the meat of a dog, that jivi is called shvapakaha. So you should be able to look at all these with the samabhavam. We should be able to look at all these with the samabhavam. Then that abhyasa will happen. Looking at Paramatma, everything in this Srishti, and understanding that Paramatma is there in every thing that is there in this Srishti, that samabhava will come only to a Panditaha who looks at all these different kinds with the samabhava. So that is what this shloka is saying. So many times, many people acquire a lot of Vidya, but along with Vidya, that ahankaram will be there right next to Vidya. The minute we think that we acquired some kind of knowledge, this ahankaram also will be there. But once a person gets this ahankaram, it indicates that he has not obtained the phalam of the Vidya. Without obtaining the phalam of the Vidya, what good is that Vidya to us? Simply studying something and memorizing and reciting somewhere, is that enough? No. That phalam of that Vidya, if we obtain, then there is a reason. You have cooked the rice. but everything you have made it too runny or too not cooked properly. Is it of any use? That phalam should be of use to us. Only then in that kriya there is some use by doing that kind of kriya. That phalam should be of use to somebody, right? So here, by practicing this vidya, the phalam should be vinayam. Without vinayam means you did not understand that vidya completely, because all our vidyas, all our shastras or whatever knowledge is being taught is talking about that vinayam only. So if we miss that part and simply acquire the knowledge, bookish knowledge, what use is that to us? So vidyaphalam na prapnoti. Yaha ahankarah bhavati, saha vidyaphalam na prapnoti. So there is no use because of that. We all have studied this Subhashitam, which is written by Bhartrihari, I think in our Parichaya book, I think. Yada kinchit ज्ञेहं द्विप इव मदान्धः समभवं तदा सर्वज्ञोऽस्मि इति अभवत्. What was that subhashitam? Alpitam mama manah yada kinchit kinchit budhajana sakashat avagatam tada murkha asmi iti jvara iva madaha vyapagatah. So the minute I learned a few things, I start getting this ahankaram, which grows like madandaha, dvipa iva, like an elephant. How huge the elephant is, like that my aham also has grown with a little bit of knowledge. But once when I see other learned people and realize how little I have acquired, then jvara iva vyapagataha, madaha vyapagataha. My ahankaram will come down like jvara. Jvara also like that only. It will make us suffer for as long as it, and one day it is suddenly gone. Suddenly, like that, it will be gone. Like that, my ahankara also has gone. The minute I realized how little I know. And then about vinayam also. The vinayam, many people exhibit on the outside, but do they really have it from the inside of their heart? That we have to practice. Only simply respecting somebody on the outside, and then in the inside again we don't feel the same way. Only on the outside we show that for several reasons. Say for example, there is a very bad politician who kills people. With him, how will we be? Because of bhayam, we show vinayam, right? Like that, there are so many reasons. Some people might some people might not like it if we show ahankaram. So in front of that, because we need to get some things done from them, so we show vinayam. Okay, so like this, there are several reasons why we show vinayam. Though we have ahankara, if we dambhena, this also there is a subhashitam in our books. Dambhena lobhena bhiya hriyava प्रायः विनीतः जन एषः सर्वः वैराग्यतः तु आहृदयं विनीतं naram varam durlabhamev manye. So dambhena means with ahankaram. They are basically, they have ahankaram, but they are showing vinayam on the outside. Lobhena means they have need from others. For that reason, they are showing vinayam. If they don't be polite, they cannot get their whatever they need. For that reason, they behave with vinayam. Bhiya, like I said, out of fear for somebody, we show vinayam. And hriya, out of shyness. Sometimes you are too shy to even talk. Because of that also, we show vinayam, right? So you are afraid to talk what you want to talk, like your opinion. You are afraid to share your opinion. Maybe instead of afraid, maybe shy, because afraid is already covered in bhiya. So because of all these reasons, people will be showing vinayam. But who shows vinayam from the inside of the heart? With real vinayam. They really respect the other person. Because of that, if you are showing vinayam, that is the true vinayam. And how many people are there really who show that kind of vinayam? Okay, that is how we have to assess. Even when we are showing Vinayam, we have to question ourselves. Are we showing this Vinayam to this person because I really respect that person? If I am not respecting that person, means I am not seeing Paramatma in him. We are only looking at the outside attributes. And those outside attributes are because of the Prakriti, the Trigunatmika Prakriti. That is the reason why those negative attributes are there for that person, right? But the Paramatma within that person is pure. All these outside parameters are there. We are only looking at these outside parameters and we are developing anger or dvesham or love also sometimes happens because of these outside appearances. Inside they might be not good people, but outside they are behaving in a good way so that they can gain our trust, and we are falling for that. We are always looking only at these outside attributes, and these outside attributes are because of this Prakriti Swabhavikam. But we have to understand that the deep inside the Paramatma is there. Like how an ornament, it is made out of pure 24 karat gold. But does it stay like that with 24 karat gold? We cannot make anything. We cannot make it, use it. So we add a little bit of copper to it and some other decorations to it to make it more beautiful or usable. So, but we inside we have always need to remember that that 24 karat gold is there. That is the reason why it is valued so much. Even brass metal we can make ornaments with brass, but we are not giving that much value. If you have two ornaments, one made out of gold and one made out of brass, which one do you appreciate more? The one made out of gold. Why? Because you know inside there is that 24 karat gold. With brass, you don't have that 24 karat gold inside. So you don't care for that as much. You put it everywhere, you throw it, you don't really take care of it. But with this, you nicely clean it and put it in the locker and everything. Why? Because we are looking at the inside. On the outside, both of them have the same attributes. But we are looking at that inside. Similarly, we have to practice that kind of perception towards everything. We should not look at the outside attributes. When somebody is behaving with Vinayam, we have to realize the true self and not just the outside things. So we should not be affected by the outside things. We have to see the Paramatma inside them. These outside attributes are because of their Prakritika Swabhavam. Of course, we have to deal with it. We cannot always say, oh, inside there is Paramatma, so no matter what he does, we have to put up with it. That is not what is being told. For the Laukika Jivanam, we have to deal with it. But we should remember that Paramatma is there, and these attributes are because of his Swabhavika Prakrutika Swabhavam and because of his Purvajanma, doings. So we have to look beyond that. We should not develop any Ragadvesha. We have to do what we have to do. If we don't like what that person is doing because of his Swabhavika Prakriti, we have to say no. When we have to say no, we have to say no. But that no should be said with love, not because of dvesham, not because of kopam, not because of something else. We have to understand that Paramatma is there in everything, but it is the Swabhavika Prakriti that is there. So without developing those kind of emotions, because by developing such kind of emotions, we are moving away, we are falling back in our Abhyasa. So for us to remain in our Abhyasa, this is the kind of practice that we have to do. We are not doing them any favor. By looking at Paramatma within them, we are not doing them any favor. We are doing ourselves a favor. We are moving forward in our path without falling down. The minute we forget that and look at them with Ragadvesha, we are only falling like the snakes and ladder. We are only falling down. We climb so many ladders, one mistake we do, we fall down. Like that. That we have to constantly remember. Okay, so why all these are mentioned? The Brahmanaha, then the elephant, the go, all these, because there are people who have done Uttama Samskaraha. Those are compared to Vidyavantaha Brahmanaha. And then they are Madhyama Samskaraha, like the elephant. Among the animals also, that is a better animal compared to a dog. And then the dog and Jivis who eat the dog are the lowest categories. So they are referred to as adhamaha. So, but even among these, so there are people with uttama samskaraha, there are people or animals with madhyama samskaraha, there are people with who are adhamas. But within each of them, there is Paramatma because of their doings. They have these samskaras. So those should not affect us. We should not let their samskaras affect us. We should still follow in our path strongly. And for that, we have to, if we remember that there is Paramatma in everybody, then it will help us overcome these outside parameters to develop these ragadveshas, which we need to avoid. So by looking at the inside, we can put up with the outsides of such people, even if they are doing hurtful things to us. We can overcome. We can just brush off. Oh, it is his purva samskaras that is making him do this. Within him also there is Paramatma, but he has to, of course, work on it. But it will help us not take it seriously, not being hurt by such actions, and moving forward. So in that sense, we have to take this shloka. So vidyavinaya sampanne brahmane gavi hastini shuni chaiva shvapake cha panditas samadarshinaha. So panditaha, we have to practice to become like those panditaha who have samadarshinaha in everything. Okay. So we shall stop here. Any questions here? No chet? Alivelu Bagini?
आं भगिनि सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः धन्यवाद भगिनी नमस्कारः सर्वेभ्यः धन्यवादः नमस्कारः शुभरात्रि
धन्यवादः महोदय
धन्यवादः महोदय
धन्यवादः